Nike factory store used to be the ultimate location for steals, discount, stackable promotions, and shelf full of heat. After 2020, price went up, deals disappeared, and resellers took over. So, what really changed? Well, let's break down why shopping at the factory store was way better before COVID.
There was a time when Nike factory store were absolute goldmine. Discounts on top of discounts. Clearance deals with an extra 30 to 50% off. And those legendary friends and family events made price even sweeter. And who could forget their insane $5 and $10 receipt deals? Walking out with heat for next to nothing was the norm. But now, those glory days are just memories.
Right now, we at the Nike Unite store in Waterford. Lace is a community store. So pretty much it's a hybrid between a factory store and a Nike top line store. So in this store, expect to find a hash wall, shoes and bins, and new clothing products. This store is a triple threat, but don't get it twisted. This store has also succumbed to limited discounts. And right now, the hash wall do have 30% off of footwear. So there's a lot of shoes in the building, like these LeBron Next Equalities. They're hitting for $89.97, but you can get yourself it with additional 30% off, so they end up being $62. And even though that's not a bad shoe, but the Nike factory stores and clearance stores used to be consistently offering deep discounts with extra percentage off, reduced pricing. So right now, this is $119. So you can get that shoe for $83, which is not bad. But shoes like this, even though the same shoe, different colorway, typically will be, from my experience, way under $100, including these Air Max 90s, Royals and Whites. They're going for $99, which is discounted, but it's not heavily reduced before the new discounts apply. Anyways, these will be $69.99. So they do got some DNs. I'm not a fan of these shoes. They're $94, but you're getting $30 off of it. I'm also not a fan of their $129. A fundamental fact about this shoe is very rare you will find them under $100, but right now you can find them on the back wall reduced to $124 with additional discounts. On top of that, back in the days, not only shoes be already reduced at a significantly low price, clearance stores and factory stores used to have stackable promotion, which make it more intriguing, which give us heavier discounts. What are these? Nike High Jump Elites. Oh, we got the Vomeros in here. These are $99, and you get an additional 30% off. These are super, super comfortable. So much so, I got a pair on right now. Olive purple. You call it what you want. I call them super comfy. These are my comfy walkers. What make it so intriguing? Dunks like these, they already hit for like $99, then you get additional 30% off. But then if you had a receipt coupon, then you could apply that $5 or $10 on top of that, making this even more significant. So even though these dunks is $9.99, applying all those discounts and that $10 or $5 coupon, you can get these at $60 if there's no 40% off. And when applying those discounts, these would end up being significantly more cheaper than the already reduced pricing. Now, I'm not mad at these dunks. They're actually kind of clean. You got that royal purple piping throughout the whole entire shoe. Not to mention the insole is also blue. These are clean. I actually like. Imagine for a second that you're a dunk lover. Like, dunks are your favorite shoe, and you want to get them in every colorway. And you can literally stack up and get your favorite shoe at a discounted rate. Example, these. I like these. They're hitting for $54.97 with additional 30% off. Imagine having a $5 coupon, a birthday coupon that you can apply. Now, I don't care about these so much, but if the price was reduced more significantly, like maybe a $49.99 with additional 30 and having the receipt coupon, that would be fire. Same thing for these Air Max 1s. It's like they're all pink and purple. I just noticed that. These are hitting for $119. That wouldn't be a starting price back in the days. A little bit significantly cheaper, not to mention shoes was a little bit cheaper back then as well. And we didn't have retail manipulation. I kind of put this to a halt, not to mention COVID. COVID put a damp to a lot of things. What y'all guys think about these Air Jordan 4 lows? Are they really called Air Jordan 4 lows? I still haven't figured out the actual name. I know the Jordan, oh, these are different. These are the Jordan Flight Court. I'm not mad at it. I love the outsole, love everything about the shoe, just not the silhouette. But anyways, this is hitting for literally $100. I haven't seen a $100 sticker price ever. That's not even odd in pricing. They actually rounded it up. As unique as those sticker prices, so are the times as discounts. So when you see a great deal, it's gonna be very rare, but there are some. You just gotta keep hunting. These Air Jordan 1 lows, and they're hitting for $89.99. Now that's odd in the pricing, and they made it to the back wall, so these are also getting additional 30% off. I'm not mad at that. Then you got the Air Max 1s, black and white. I'm not mad at these, size 10 for $79.97. Another odd ending pricing. That's dope to see. Then you got the Jaws for $69.97 with additional 30. 30% off. I can't stop thinking about these. These are clean. And two things can be true at the same time. For example, 30% off is not unheard of for factory stores. What's actually new and I actually like with today's pricing versus yesteryear pricing is that in the middle of the week, you can also get the back wall discounted. It wasn't like that before. You had to wait Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. You had to wait towards the weekend to get a discount. Usually, finding a discount in the middle of the week back then was very rare. It happened, but not as frequent as it is today. And another thing I like about the outlets back in the day is that it was filled with highly sought after shoes, retros, LeBrons, premium models like Kobe, and they were widely available. I mean, so is this, but no one's really checking for this. I don't think that people went crazy for the LeBron line like ever, like they do the retro J's, but these monopolies are hitting for $139, and you are getting the box. There's no additional discounts, but they're here. You can get the 21s purple and yellow piping for $100. That also include a box. Looks like there's a few replacement boxes as well. But nevertheless, you get to pick and choose which ones you want. They haven't got the next. I've never seen this color before. More stock and availability. Customers can find shoes a week or maybe months after release. I have never seen the Phoenix neck. They're actually clean. It's actually patent leather or leather. I thought it was patent leather, but it's not. But the colorway is fire to me. I've never seen this card with the neck. It's actually come with this pair. It shows how it's designed. And unlike today, the Nike outlets had a variety of stock, multiple different sizes for the price you want, and they were not picked over like they are today. It would be very hard for a shoe highly sought after to be available in your size, especially if you wear a big size like me, 12 or 12 and a half. It seems like those sizes is the trend, where back in the days, smaller size was. That's the bigger sizes for the people who wear 12s and better. By the way, I do like these and these Devon books as well. I have found a pair of Devon books for 50 beans. It wasn't my size, so I had to politely pass. So I still would like to try a pair. Those are 100, and so are these. 100 beans for them. Yeah, I got it.
Oh, yeah, you made that easy.
No worries.
One of the biggest reasons Nike outlet just isn't the same, resellers. Before StockX and GOAT, most people buying at outlets were regular shoppers looking for deals. But once these platforms made it easy to flip sneakers instantly, reselling exploded. Now, micro resellers, people who wouldn't even thought about reselling before, are clearing out entire shelves just to make a few bucks. Instead of shoes sitting in outlets for weeks, they're gone within hours. And for the average sneakerhead, that means fewer deals, less variety, and way more frustrating. The game has changed, and honestly, not for the better.
Speaking of picked over shelf, like today, this shelf is bare. Now, to be fair, employees did remove shoes from the shelf. Now, pre-COVID, it's very rare you will find a shelf as empty as this. Even though this is not much, but it is rare. They had so much stock, it was plentiful. You can pretty much get any shoe in what size you want majority of the times, because I did. Here's these shoes again. They're definitely calling my name. Man, they got me all different colors. Ooh, these Vomeros are clean too as well. I think we took a look at these earlier. They're $100, so it'll be $70 out the door. And like I mentioned earlier, if you are a dunk lover, this would be a great opportunity because they're so discounted and affordable. You can pretty much get any color your heart desires. Now, I have to mention the great opportunities we have back in the days, but also got to mention the new future opportunities we have. Back then, we didn't have the refurbished section, as you see here. What are these? Full Force, they're 57. And the recyclable shoes is super affordable. They have different sizes, different models, and you never know what you'll find. It's like a treasure trove. Stick a hand in there, pull something you like these Air Max 97s, raw, blue and black. They're hitting for $105. Not the best price I have seen, but it's a start. Maybe these 270s is a better deal. It's $96 and you're getting 30% off. Okay, that's a start. What about 312s? And it's yellow and black colorway, predominantly white, $73 for those. And here's a shoe, the drips, whoa. Told you the shoe was heavy. Look, I caught it though. Oh, these are $93. Not a bad price because these are guapi. Here's another colorway, Legacy 312s. These are hitting for $73 and you get 30% off. Jason Kidd towards the bottom. I like the refurbished section because like I told you guys, you never know what you will find. There's some great deals and they don't discriminate with the discounts. They still offer the same discounts as the hash wall because this is where you'll find them. If you guys never heard about the refurbished section, let me explain. $73. The refurbished program have 3 different categories. You're gonna have like new, and in this case, slightly imperfect. Those are the 3 categories you'll get, and they're heavily discounted. That's a plus. You know how the saying goes, all good things come to an end. And we all know who to thank for that. Since I've been in the store, these has dropped while I was in store to 30% off of $99. That's not bad. They literally start stickering these boxes while I was in the building. That's dope to see. Midday discount, that's dope. And I actually like that model. And I would like to see these also get the same discount treatment Currently, these are still 100. These are 114. These are competing with the Vomeros and the P6000. Price is not priced correctly, in my personal opinion. And this colorway, this olive aqua glacier blue, I believe, it's not the best, but I ain't mad at it. I will rock it if it was a lot cheaper. Then they also got the black and white things, or white to metallic silver. They're going for 114, no additional discounts. And this probably a harder shoe to rock. Yeah, or maybe these. These are a little bit different though. These are metallic silver, metallic platinum. Not bad, but it would be kind of hard to rock. I'm liking it, but I won't buy it. I know that sounds weird to say, but that's how I'm feeling right now. Maybe because I'm resenting that price. I feel it can be better. A lot better. We're still in the comfy walker section, guys. These Vomeros are hitting for $99.99. These are actually clean. I told you I got a pair on right now, and they're super comfortable. Vomero 5s is not a bad shoe. I like the toned down earth tone colorways like this. Collegiate gray, seal, milk brown. Now this one I don't care too much. It's the same price, but they're giving us variety. It's not high on my list or colorway I would cop, but it does give the same comfort because it's the same tech. And this is metallic and silverback. Then they got the Volt colorway, and I'm a fan of Volts, but maybe not this Volts. But if it was cheaper, which it is, it's already reduced pricing, but we need additional discounts, and I will consider it. Did consider this in the past, and I did bought it, and I got mine with additional 30% off, so I do have these for a great price. The Platinum Tint Whites. But what's weird about this shoe is that it's Platinum Tint Whites. Where's the gold? We know this shoe got gold. Nike, we need answers why there's no gold on the box. Do we need to get a DNA test? Who's color grading these? Yo, who dropped the ball? Why are these not gold? For any tech nerds out there, any box label nerds, colorway nerds, why this label doesn't have gold? More Vomeros, but these are also hitting for $100. And we'll have the orange, black, and white. And these are going for $89.99. Not a bad price. Price should be cheaper. Clearly could be cheaper. Clearly could be cheaper. Clearly could be cheaper. Nike need to do a better job for the price on the Vomeros. I think they could do a lot better. And one of the reasons why Nike Outlet is not the same is because of reselling. Back in the days, reselling wasn't as dominant. That means regular consumers like you and I can shop at these stores without competing with them. And we can find shoes like this weeks, even months in a Nike factory store, just sitting at very affordable prices. Now today, they're gone before we even noticed it was in the building. And these white chili reds are hitting for $69.99. I'm an Air Max 1 fan, but I probably would politely pass on these. I think it's a good price, $70. But imagine it with 30% off like we would have got back in the days. And it's currently midday. And if they was that cheap with additional 30, 6 years ago, you could have literally came back a week later and probably get the exact same shoe. If not for that price, probably cheaper. And that kind of took the thrill out of hunting for sneakers. Like, one of the favorite part of shopping at the Nike factory store is you never know what you'll find. For example, these Air Maxes. Last time I was here, these was damn near retail. Now they're $94.99 with additional 30% off. I think that's a good price. But I also believe Nike knows they can also sell this shoe at that price without an issue. They know the targeted people is just not consumers, it's also resellers. So having a higher ticket price where most people will probably take a week or two to decide to purchase it or even come to a factory store, those regular consumers won't even get the opportunity to buy this shoe at a discounted price. Why did I pick that shoe? Did you guys notice I picked up the wrong box? I meant to pick up this green and tan box. This is the original box, OG box for those Air Max ones I just shown. Anyways, they're marked down $94.97, and these will be available back then, probably with additional discounts if it never sold the first week or second week. Without the invent of StockX and GOAT, I know those would still have been available because people won't know what shoe would be worth, except for the people who already were reselling. They probably were on eBay, or they know other people that may want a shoe. So they probably sell the shoe based off proxy, meaning that they have the opportunity to buy the shoe because they're in the area where it sells that shoe, where another person don't live in that same geographic location, so they ask for assist. And someone like myself or maybe a reseller may buy the shoe and sell it to them. Sometimes at full price, maybe a resale price. Wherever the case is, that was the worst scenario that could happen. People buying shoes in our area and selling to other people in different areas. There was a plentiful amount of shoes to go around. I didn't have no problem finding shoes I want at the factory store or clearance stores. I was more surprised during those visits back then than I am today. It's an ultimate surprise to find a shoe you actually want today. I'm talking about winning the lottery surprise. Back then, it was less backdooring, and employees, athletes in this case, was not influenced by sneaker reselling culture. They could care less. If they didn't like the shoe, they didn't buy it. Like, for example, these. If these were $19, I would have passed on them back then because I don't care for Air Max 2017. Even though they got them in 2 colors and black is my favorite shoe, I'm more likely pass on that as well. 2013 is a little bit different. I actually like these better than the 2017s. And the people who love loud shoes would have probably purchased these. if it was a great price. And then I had to worry and compete with not only athletes, resellers, other consumers. There was enough to go around. Sometimes Nike just make too much to go around. Like, anyone asks for these? I know a lot of people in my comment section ask me why I don't like them. And they told me give it a try. Nah, no need. Now this is affordable. $84.99 with 30% off. I ain't mad at the pricing, but I am with this colorway and that colorway. Damn, it's just a slew of them. Some of them have better discounts than others. This one's $119.97 with 30 off. And this one's $94.99 with 30% off. But this is the cheapest stuff. And it looks like there's a full-size runs of all of them. Apologize if I haven't shown you this shoe. These are the Air Max 85 OGs with the big bubble for $80. The cheapest I found these shoes was the price I paid, which is $34.99. And eventually I got the whole entire box intact. And I got my size, true size, size 12. I have seen this price fluctuate. Now they landed at $79.99. But pretty soon, it's gonna get down lower. Believe me, keep watching, subscribe to this channel, and I guarantee you, you'll probably find that in the next month or two below that price. Trust me when I tell you, that will go down. So subscribe if you haven't already, so we can watch that shoe discount in the future. I guarantee you I will catch it on this channel, on one of my videos, future videos. Anyways, we got an Air Max 1 with Psychic Blue and Deep Royal, not to mention the orange on the tongue and also on the back heel. These are hitting for $129. Very vibrant Air Max 1. But it's also probably the most expensive one in here. I lied. These are the most expensive Air Max in the building. They're hitting for $150. Now, no one would have paid that price today or back in the days. I think that's very steep. And in the clearance, if I ever made it there, back then it would have been under $100. And that was one of the cool things of shopping at the clearance stores back when as well. No shoe in the clearance store was over $100. That was dope. But sometimes in the factory stores like we are in now, which is actually a Unite store, you will see prices like that. However, I do believe prices are a little bit better, not significantly better, but just a little bit better. And back in the days, there was actually fewer Nike stores, and this Unite store never exists. And you can argue that less Nike stores make better opportunity. Having less stores and less resellers make a greater opportunity, better than the pricing for these. Gray, hot pink, what's the actual colorway? Gray, cool gray, and hyper pink is actually the real colorway of these. They're in for $130. They could be better. And then you got these camouflage orange. I ain't mad at it. It's a little bit different, a little unique. $130, and this is bio beige and safety orange, just FYI, if you guys care to know. So even having less Nike stores made it better for most people because there's only a central location we can go to, but with pros comes cons. There's some chances that because there's only one spot to go to, you have more people crowded in that store, giving you less opportunity. Regardless of where you live, there was always opportunity. I think the bigger issue was how quickly people could make profit on these shoes, which make it very enticing. For example, while I was here, they marked down these shoes as well. These are the Air Force One green. Look at the outsole. These shoes are hitting for $54.97 with additional 30% off. They just literally marked them down while I am in the building. You couldn't get these opportunities before. So $54.97 minus 30, what's that, $34 shoe? I think that's worth it. Will you guys rock that? Comment down below. Is it worth it a cop? Not only do they have the green Air Forces, they also got this colorway. So 79 minus 30, so it's $56 before tax. Cool, thank you, bro. So they had these dunks hitting for $79.99 with additional 30% off, and it'll be $56 before tax. That's not bad, but I think these are already on the hash wall. I believe we saw these earlier, but they literally removed them off the shelf as soon as I got over here. So a lot of shoes being discounted in the building. This is what, the third shoe that got discounted while I was here? Now, I'm all for multiple different stores in my city. Right now, I live in Orlando, Florida, and we have 8. We have 2 clearance stores, 1 Unite, and 5 factory stores. And you can find deals like these dunked all over my factory stores, and in some cases, the clearance stores. And sometimes the prices differs from the clearance stores to the factory stores. So having these opportunity for dunks like these for a great price is ideal for bargain shoppers like me, especially these pandas. When people's paying $300-400 for them, now you can get them under $100 by 1 cent. The discount is $15. I know you might say it's not much, but given the fact that people's paying up to $450, I think that's a crazy steal. But not so much for these Jordan 1 lows, raw and black colorway. They're hitting for $115. Plethora of different sizes. I'm not a fan of those Jordan 1 lows though. But to each his own. They also got the mids for $80. Oh, this mid is additional $30. So this would be like a $54 pickup. And this one half of the yin and yang. This is the white pair. They're going for $90, which is $88.99. Look at that. They got women dunks as well. These are going for $80. No additional discounts, but those shoes don't move. They will be discounted. Now this is reduced to $99 from $140. These are women exclusive. Love that UNC blue. I think that colorway is fire. I like to see that on the Air Max 1. I ain't mad at it. They got my first ever Nike shoe, which is the Cortez. Mine was maroon and leather. This one is white and black. They're going for $80. And I think back in the days, I may have paid $50-something for mine. However, these are reduced, but they're not heavily discounted. And guys, don't get it twisted. Not every shoe needs to be reduced to be considered a bargain. There's some shoes that I bought last year that released over a year, probably 2 years, but I never got them. And I found them in a Nike outlet and I was able to obtain them. There's pros and cons between post-COVID and pre-COVID. Pre-COVID, we got a lot more consistent discounts, but we lost a lot of things due to retail manipulations, final sale issues, no additional 30% off in the clearance store, no friends and family, no coupon. A lot of that doesn't exist in this era. Because good things have to come to an end, we just have to adapt and we have to coexist with resellers. These are the Nike DNs. They're 30% off 120 and coming in at 119 with 30% off. This may not be a bad pickup for a lot of you guys. For me, it's just not for me. I just don't care for the DNs. Aesthetically, it's not a pleasing to me. Why do we need this big old circle bubble unit in the back of the heel? I know a lot of y'all say, Frank, it's comfortable, give it a shot. Maybe I'll try it on one day, but aesthetically, nah, hard pass. Fewer discounts and less inventory and resellers taking over. Is shopping at the Nike outlet still worth it? Of course it is. Where else are you gonna buy affordable kicks? Especially retros like these. These are the Jordan Origins. And right now they're hitting for $79.99. It's not a bad price. I have seen them cheaper, coming in at $59.99, but that was last year. So this is the cheapest I have seen them thus far. Matter of fact, I have got a picture of someone find these in Ross and they paid roughly around the same price and they're not getting the box. At least you get everything, OG, all. So if you're a Tools fan and you're looking for a great price, it's still a good opportunity. However, we're not gonna get the days of coupon receipts. And coupon receipts changed the game for a lot of us back in the days because not only were we getting reduced pricing with discounts, but then we also got $5 or $10 off. That's when you fill out a survey and you will get a $5 or $10 in your email, which you can apply to your total purchase at a Nike factory store or clearance store. They never discriminate. These are clean and they're hitting for $129.99. You still find clean retros in the building like these. You're at the mercy of resellers because once this price dips anywhere close to 100, this joint might sell out and you may not even know it was discounted because they will not be available when you get here. And that's the uncomfortable truth, being a sneakerhead and shopping at Nike factory stores for great deals. And I have multiple examples of you guys find great deals, something like these Jordan 9 Cool Grays, which recently came out. And here they are found in Nike outlet. Imagine getting this shoe with additional discounts. That would be super crazy. A lot of you guys will go ham for this, but this is a great school instead for 160. And to the left of that, we also got the reimagined ones, black toes. Still looking for a pair of these, but they probably got it here for retail. They also got these, no additional discounts. Oh look, they also got those 9, and they also got the Lucky Shorts in for $200. And guys, I don't even want to preach about clothing. Clothing, you will always find deals in the factory store. Right now, this is hitting for $94.99, and you get an additional 40% off of it. At that price, that's when I was buying my Tech Fleece, 50 and under. With no Tech Fleece left behind, I was buying everything for roughly around that price. This is the wash heather gray because it's a lighter color than the heather gray. Let me show you. Heather gray, wash heather. I like both of them. I need a new version of this, and I would love to have this color. Both of these are clean. And this heather gray is hitting for $99.99. So technically it's a little bit more money than the wash heather. But I still think it's a great price, so you get 40% off. That's $60 Tech Fleece top. But they're not done. They also got the navy blue, and this is hitting for $94. And then also got the pants to match. And this right, whoa. And it looked like this Tech Fleece is hitting for $115. Damn. But you're already getting 40% off of it. You got the navy, you got the brown top and the brown bottoms. These are 80, two-tone. I like how they played themselves trying to recreate the Tar Heels basketball short. That was clever, Nike. Let me know your thoughts. Was Nike outlet shopping pre-COVID better? Also, while you at it, let me know how I did in this video. I'll see y'all in the comments down below. Peace.